William Feathers said, "Wealth flows from energy and ideas." In essence, that is what drives SMMEs. In fact, there is no such thing as a small business. Business is business, and small businesses are actually just small-scale businesses. Here at KLCBT, the Kruger-Lothar Chamber of Business and Tourism in Mbombela, we have more than 1,000 business members, of which only 90 have more than 50 employees, which just goes to show that there are many opportunities for small and medium enterprises in our area and province. The opportunities for small and medium enterprises are abound in all sectors of our economy, be it mining, be it agriculture, tourism, or trade. The differentiating factor for these businesses to thrive in our area are only three things: service and excellent service, good pricing and value for money. If a business can deliver these, they are sure to thrive and survive in our area. And actually, small businesses are better geared to do this than big, large corporations. I would now like to hand to Linda Grimbeek, the Chief Operating Officer of Kruger-Lothar Chamber of Business and Tourism, to tell you more about specific opportunities for SMMEs in our area.
Thank you, Sandra, and I agree wholeheartedly. There is really no such thing as a small business. It is rather a small-scale business. But in that, you have to be flexible to find particular disadvantages and advantages for you and act on that. That is what makes a small business to have an advantage in the end, because you can act with great flexibility. Now, if we look at Mpumalanga particularly, there's some fantastic advantages here for big and small businesses alike, but particularly for small businesses. We are a very well-marketed region, nationally and internationally. So that would help any business. So we're very well known for tourism, and tourism influences all businesses. So that is a great advantage. And secondly, we've got a great number of chambers here that can assist you and where you should get involved with. And that you don't scratch out anywhere in the world, really. And Mpumalanga has got that in abundance. One of them, of course, is the KLCBT, which is officially the busiest chamber in South Africa and soon to be the largest in South Africa. So it can be a great source of information and to build up connections. Let us drill down now to the basic building blocks for businesses of any size. But we will also highlight at the same time what advantages you can expect as a small business or a business in Mpumalanga. Let's start with the 4 factors of any, let's call it building blocks, of any new business or to expand. You should look at 4 aspects. They are entrepreneurship, capital, natural resources, and then labor and skills. So that is a mouthful. Let's start then with entrepreneurship. That is your specific talent. It is your talent to be an entrepreneur. It is not something that really can be taught. It is you either are an entrepreneur or you're not. So you have that talent of taking risks and making an idea work, getting out of the box ideas. But you cannot be everything, specifically in a small business. You will try at first to be the marketer, the HR, the security, the everything in the business. But in entrepreneurship, one of the things you should guard against is to keep on doing everything yourself. You can do it for a limited period of time, and then you should either get in partners or allies, really, joint ventures in a business language, where you can really shift the responsibilities and share it amongst a few businesses, or you can employ people eventually. So that is the first one. You've already got that. Secondly, capital. Now, for small businesses in particular, there is an abundance of grants available for development, for establishment, loans, There is so much, especially during these times. Cash in on it. It is really not difficult. It might look daunting, but try it out. Especially in Mpumalanga, we usually do not get a lot of applications from the outlying provinces like Mpumalanga. We see them coming in abundance from Western Cape or Gauteng, not here. So they would grab the opportunities to give grants or loans to establishments from Mpumalanga. Especially in the tourism space, there's a lot happening now. So go to your chamber and find out more about what is available. Natural resources, that goes for everything, starting at location. We are really, like I said, a very well-known tourism destination. We're right at the Kruger National Park here. We've got the fabulous N4 going right through the province. So we are perfectly located really for a business of any nature. There is really enough water in most instances, and people are conscious about greening practices. And when you look at starting a business, you should look at the availability of water, electricity, stability. You can look there to start with green electricity from the word go. It's not that difficult. Again, a lot of funding available for it. And then, of course, how good the municipal services are and if you are dependent on them. So that is in the space of the natural resources. And how far are you from the stuff that you need? Is it too expensive, or is it actually to your advantage to have the business here? Lastly, on the building blocks, we look at labor and skills. Again, we sit with a lot of training institutions here of all kinds. We've got thousands of people graduating every year, and they look to be taken in by host employers. In most instances, they get stipends from government or their training institutions to do a practical part of their training. So you could potentially have someone in your business at very little cost or no cost. And then we've got a lot of youth here that are either qualified or not qualified that you can pull in. And you yourself can benefit from all these establishments and qualify yourself in to do better what you do already, or to qualify yourself in other areas. There's also the aspect of online universities that are available now. So make use of this little bit of a downtime to improve your own knowledge and skills base too. So now that we've taken the building blocks in account, let us go to specific micro scale opportunities. This is now really one man or one woman businesses. Because as Sandra has pointed out, Mpumalanga has got as its economic drivers agriculture, tourism, mining and trade. So let us take the first two, for instance, agriculture and tourism. Literally anything would grow in Mpumalanga. So it is not hard to get small-scale farming going. And it is not hard to get into business with tourism either, because there's a lot of tourists coming usually, and it's a well-marketed space. So if you have an idea, or you can get into an activity that you can present, or you can plant anything and you love doing that, that is the key, you must love doing it, then you can easily get into a small business. We will talk about how to manage that in a little bit. But for now, the opportunity is there. Now we're going to the next level of any business. After you have put all those building blocks in place, we look at access to market, sustainability, growth or stability, whatever your choice might be, and legacy planning. So we're basically going to look at them all together. First one is access to market. There is nothing more important than a region that's well marketed. And second to that, networking opportunities. And that is where you need to be aligned with a great chamber, because you can advertise, and you should, and you can use word of mouth and social media, but the best way of marketing any business, especially a small business, is with networking. You can't just rock up to someone's door and he will take a meeting, and they might ignore your calls. So networking is great, and as I've said, we are the busiest chamber in South Africa, offering about 20 such events a year. So don't miss out on that. Going to sustainability, you consciously have to work towards sustainability every single day, not just live from day to day. How is my business going to survive in the next 10, 15, 20 years? Have a plan. Have a plan. And therein also comes growth and legacy planning. So we're basically looking at all of them together. Looking at growth again, you can again utilize the interns to take on people whom you don't have to pay, and therein grow your business for that year that they get paid for, before you have the burden of taking on their salary. Legacy planning is extremely important because your customers would want to know that you that you will be there tomorrow, that they won't go into a contract with you and you might run in front of the bus and you're no longer there. So you have to make some sort of plan to bridge that. So either with a partner or with businesses that's in a joint venture with you, that if you break your leg, the other business will carry on with your contract. So all of that being said, I'm going to drill down now to the micro scale again. The best way of ensuring growth, stability, access to market, and all of that which I just spoke about is by creating a community exchange. So you might plant carrots, the next one tomatoes, the next one onions, and so on and so on. And together you can exchange the crops with one another, so you all have a balanced meal. You could grow chickens in there. You can even add a tannie that makes pap next to the road and with some of the produce. So you can create your own little micro exchange. It's almost like a stokvel with a barter trade. And whatever is left over from that produce can be sold to one school for their feeding scheme or to one hotel. And amongst your group, you might have someone that is good in negotiating contracts. You might have someone that is good with social media, or that has a car that can carry produce to wherever you sell it to. So just by putting it all together in one pot, you make it easier. You could also form cooperatives. It needs 6 people to form a cooperative, and there's great funding available for that. But it doesn't say that you have to keep to just one cooperative. The key to the success of a cooperative is again with great mentorship and management. So you could, within your community, establish several different cooperatives that does different things, and you can appoint a fantastic CEO or marketer or whatever you feel you need and put it into that pot. You as one small little business can never afford all of that, can never have all that market access, but together it is absolutely limitless. In closing, I would like to say, get involved with a chamber near you and be professional with all your systems, keep to your promises, and just give the best value for money. But most of all, be professional. And very lastly, don't be afraid to try. There's always a way to make it work. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. And as you can hear, there are ample opportunities for entrepreneurs in our province. It's up to us to seize those opportunities and make the best of them. There's a saying that the best way to predict the future is to create it. It's our opportunity now to do that. And I'd like to urge you, as Linda has said, to connect with your local business association, connect with KLCBT. We have the information, we have the contacts to help you to make the best of your opportunities to start up your own business. Thank you.